Brian and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. As boxing fans, we could be so moany and tricky and pick at the smallest things, and we could be hypocritical. I'm gonna call myself a hypocrite right now, because on This Week in Boxing I said we need some fights, we ain't had no fights, and we've got a fight coming up which provided 3 very, very entertaining fights. But it's a 4th fight, and I'm kind of like, is it really necessary? And as much as it's such a good fight, and I'm can't wait to watch it, I'm stuck with where the winner really gets out of it. Only person that has any benefit is Ola Afolabi if he wins. The fight I'm talking about is Ola Afolabi versus Marco Huck IV. Ade, what do you think of this fight? And do you get my point?
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's the Pacquiao-Marquez thing.
Yeah.
Where Pacquiao-Marquez was good. You know, one was a draw, split, unanimous, and you think, why not do it again?
Yeah.
But you kind of feel like we've seen it all before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let's put some new faces in this mix a bit. And the only thing different on this occasion is that there's no title on the line.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the times that Afolabi.
No, there is a title on the line.
What title?
Did that Ola knock out Chekiev?
Yeah, for what title? What's the title?
For like an interim or
for an interim, yeah,
or regular, but it has got some.
Has got some implications.
It has got a trinket.
But at the time, Huck was number 1.
Yeah.
And Afolabi was trying to see if he could dominate and break this number 1.
I remember at the first fight, Ola and Huck were officially 1 and 2 in the division, I think. Or if it weren't 1 and 2, it was 1 and 3. You know what I mean? They were considered the best of the bunch.
Yeah, you put in, what's the Cuban again?
Hernandez.
You put in Hernandez there, and Hernandez split them all the time.
Remember, Hernandez kind of came in after he beat Steve Cunningham. Steve Cunningham was like the man at the time.
Yeah. And you kind of just feel like it'll be good to see where Huck is after that knockout. Because that was something that shocked boxing.
Yeah.
Not just us, that shocked boxing. And no one expected. I never thought Huck could get knocked out like that.
Especially like that.
Yeah, not like that. He was out cold.
Someone out-Hucked Marco Huck. If Huck wins this fight, even if it's a fight of the year type fight, it actually means nothing. Because Huck's officially beat him 3 times already.
Yeah.
So beating someone that you beat 3 times already is not going to really improve your ranking or your contendership.
Yeah.
Ola Afolabi is having what they call an Indian summer. Yeah. After the 3rd Huck loss, he kind of like went off the tracks a little bit. Weren't putting in good performances. Had a couple impressive one-punch knockouts. Yeah. Remember that one he had on the undercard with Klitschko?
I remember it.
Yeah, we remember fight. You remember that? Yeah, but he ain't really been punching the numbers in. He just been coasting it and calling it in until he got that shot against Chekiev.
Yeah, Chekiev.
Yeah, Chekiev, and good performance.
Yeah.
He went through the storm, saw the guy was gassing and blowing and winging every shot, and then walked him into a sweet punch that laid him out completely. But setting someone up who's totally tired and exhausted
and muscle bound
is not setting up Marco Huck.
Yeah.
Marco Huck doesn't really gas like that. Yeah. And he fights at a very aggressive pace, but with some sort of reckless intelligence, where it's kind of crazy, but it's actually effective.
You know the problem for Afolabi is, Afolabi always fights Huck's fight.
Yeah, he does.
Every time I've seen him, he tries to go to war with Huck, and Huck's just like, well, bring that on. That's my game plan.
Ola's best things are fight on the back foot and counter punch.
Yeah, Ola's got one of the biggest and longest jabs in the cruiserweight division, and we've seen what that counter punch can do. Ask Enzo, ask a lot of people. When it connects, it connects. But he just seems to think, I'm gonna outman you. And look, we saw him get knocked out recently, but that's a rare thing. Even Povetkin couldn't knock Huck out. Do you know what I mean? And Povetkin's a heavyweight, a legit heavyweight. You know what I mean? So I just feel like if Afolabi tries to box, I just don't know if he can. I just don't know if. Look, he's not changed his style 3 times. I'm not convinced Afolabi can change it a full time when he fights Huck, and that's the problem for me.
And and then I'll tell you as well. I saw a lot of people saying that, Huck's done now. I don't think Huck's done.
Come on, behave.
Listen,
one knockout.
Glowacki is an animal.
He's a beast.
He's a legit animal with a chain around. You have to chain him up. I mean, seriously. The point I'm making is that Huck got caught in the great fight. I think it was our fight of the year.
It was fight of the year.
But it doesn't mean because you got caught and you lost 1 fight that you don't have it. I'm just confused. Like I said, what does Ola bring to this fight now? Because if Ola wins this fight, then it makes a difference to their history.
Funny thing is, Ola wins this fight, and it's very weird in terms of where the careers are right now. Then you really might consider Huck being done. For Huck to lose back to back,
yeah.
You know what I mean, against a guy that he's beat 3 times already, and a guy that then knocked him out.
Yeah.
You kind of question whether these wars, and Huck does get involved in wars.
Yes, he does.
You mentioned off camera the Arslet fight. He didn't look good in that either. So he's not looked good in that. He's been knocked out, and if he beats Afolabi, kind of think maybe these wars have caught up with you.
The thing about Ola in this fight is that as much as you said that Ola fights Huck's fights, Ola was in the first fight. He was definitely in the second fight. The third fight, I thought he lost handily. Yeah, but there were close fights. There were competitive fights. If Ola could get over that hump, and if Huck has slipped a fraction, Ola might get to say, guess what? I won this fight. Won it legit, and that might give him a little bit of credit in his retirement days. I guess what? I fought with Huck. I definitely won the second and the fourth, but you know.
It's a tough one for Ola. I look at where his motivation is going to be in this fight. Yes, you beat Huck, but you're beating the guy now with all the belts gone. I know there's a regular title you said on the line, but when you were fighting Huck, if you beat Huck, you were the best cruiserweight in the world at the time. Someone else has now done that.
If you beat Huck, you have to go to Gołowacki.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And you had his chance in Argentina. Yes, we know there's a couple of dodgy deductions at the end, but regardless, he had that chance to win an IBF title against Ramirez, who I don't think is a great cruiserweight.
I don't think
he's not very good. Over McKenzie, who I think super middleweight, went and done something over there.
I think Over he stole that fight.
There you go. So that kind of makes him look a bit shady as well. So I think Afolabi is the wrong side of 30 as well. I think he's about 36, 37. Could be wrong. I think he's about that age. So yes, you beat Huck, but then it's almost like you say a case of I beat you. I beat you. It's 3-1. You know, I nicked the other one as well, but you don't get anything else from it.
So tell you what, the one thing I will say, like this, looking at the history of the cruiserweight division, I must say the history. Let's go back the last 15, 20 years. There's always been seasons. And it seems like now the season of our current cruiserweight is over. Hernandez is no longer really there. Semi-retired or retired, depending who you listen to.
Agreed.
Huck's kind of gone. Ola's gone.
I'm not sure Lebedev's anything.
Lebedev's little in the middle still. Who was the other guy that was there as well? Guerrero Jones is now up at heavy. So everyone goes.
Cunningham's gone up.
Cunningham's gone up. So now I think the Gołowacki's and the other guys, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't give you all their names off the top of my head. Those are the guys, you know what I'm talking about. Even like the Chakiyevs are the guys that we should be looking at now as the future. We shouldn't be looking at Ola and Huck no more.
Alright, who wins?
But I'll
go first, I don't mind. It's going to be another close one between these two. But I don't want to be deceived by Afolabi's performance against Shakiev. I don't rate Shakiev highly. He's a bit muscle bound for me. And I don't also want to be confused by Huck's knockout of him getting knocked out. Because at the same time, I feel like that would have knocked out anybody. I think Huck still has a bit to offer. He's only 31. It was only one defeat. I think Huck wins. And I think he wins by decision again. These guys seem to be able to take each other's punches quite well. I just think he wins decision because Afolabi fights his fight. If Afolabi gets on the jab and starts moving, fair enough, but he always starts that way, and then round 5 and 6 he gets a bit tired, I don't know why, he seems a fit guy, and then starts trading. I think you're trading with the wrong person. And don't be fooled by Huck getting knocked out once, you're still trading with the wrong person, and I think Huck wins.
I'm going to agree with you. As much as I like Ola, as much as I think if you're talking about technical boxing, I think he has more tools. But he doesn't use them.
Agreed.
And like you said, the gas tank does seem to wane in the rounds 8, 9, 10. He starts to tire, and the last 2 rounds he always seems to really be puffing and
hanging on big time
and puffing.
And that's what Huck always wins. Beats him always in the last 2 or 3 rounds.
It will be close. Always be dead close. It must be a split decision. It'll be one of those type of fights where it's like, guess what? It was a good fight. And again, like the other fights, you'll tape it, you'll watch it again, you'll show your friends and say, oh, watch this fight, wicked fight. It'll be everything you want in a boxing match. But unfortunately, I don't think Ola's gonna break the trend.
It's a shame PBC are not picking up this fight, because Huck had that fight with PBC. And it's a shame because this, I think, would be as good as the Huck's fight.
No. It's a great fight. Like I said, if you look at their fight, they had never ever failed to not attend.
Not deliver.
Not deliver. And when they knock people out, they knock them out devastating. So if one was to knock the other out, you know it will be a masterful knockout.
Oh, I don't think that.
No, I'm just saying though. But when they put people out,
they don't put you out by a lucky body punch.
They put you out. They
go head hunting
and put you out completely. So I think it's a really good fight.
Afolabi's Enzo knockout is still up there. Where is the guy that knocked out Enzo, by the way? Where's he disappeared to?
Frankel.
Where has Frankel gone?
That's a very good question.
I want to try and find out. That knockout is the most devastating knockout I've ever seen. I've never seen a head look like it wasn't attached to the body like that. Didn't look like it wasn't attached.
So tell you what, there's two people I don't talk about knockout. I don't like talking about Roy Jones getting knocked out or Enzo Maccarinelli.
Yeah.
It looks devastating. You need an ambulance just sitting ringside.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, tell us what you think. Afolabi Huck. It isn't the same lure that the luster the last 3 fights had, because we were talking about probably the #1 cruiserweight in the world at that time, but don't get it twisted, Huck still is my #2 at least, and I think a rematch, if he beats Afolabi, the rematch against what's that guy's name? I keep forgetting his name. Glowacki would be just whoa. Yeah, it would be. Listen, take out the knockout. That was a tremendous fight. That went 11 rounds. Yeah.
It could have went 12.
The funny thing is,
trying to say, like,
this is if you watch the fight, guys, I've watched it so many times. If you watch Huck's supporters ringside, they're in like.
Yeah, they're in shock.
This can't happen. They're in absolute shock.
No, you should put that on the flag like.
Yeah, they do.
They put the flag down. They're looking like, wait. Yeah, they're shocked. They're shocked.
Great fight. But guys, leave your comments below. Tell us who you think wins and why. If they go on, will Bellew fight any of these kids?
Hell no.
Won't do it, will he?
No, it won't do it. It will not happen. Bellew is a good name, and obviously the Crease helped him. But right now, there's a definite league of cruiserweights. Even if this is the old guard, and Bellew's not in that league.
He's not in the league at all.
Not right now.
Not right now.
That's the truth. It'll be fair.
Not right now. Probably not ever. He's not exactly 25.
Like I said, would you put Bellew in with Glowacki? Alright then. Before Glowacki, would you put Bellew in with Huck? Alright then. Ola was the only person.
Ola was the one
that he could have really had. I mean, but right now, unless you pay Ola big money, with his, he don't need Bellew.
Well, for money he was.
No. If the money was right, that's what I'm trying to say. If the money was right, but he don't need it.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Peace.